I'm Sean Evans. I'm co-chair of the YMC. I was chair for about 2 years. I currently work at EDF, Nuclear Services, dealing with pressure systems, design and assessment.
Hi, I'm Morgan Ellis. I'm a welding and materials engineer with Subsea 7 for about 6 years now. I've been co-chair for a couple of months now. I've probably been a member of the Young Members Committee for about a year. I think when I first started, so I did a mechanical engineering degree, and I started, so I wasn't really aware of the welding materials world. It was a great insight into how it all works, and there was some great series of lectures that would sort of help with my learning, provide the basic information that I felt like everybody knew and I didn't. So I originally joined so I could attend all these lectures and try and start building up my knowledge. And then from then on, it was more to meet people, the welding materials team where I work is quite small. So it was more of I want to network and to build relationships with other welding engineers, find out how it was different between different industries.
So for me, I mean, it's similar to Morgan. I'm a mechanical engineer, and over the years, exactly the same. The Welding Institute online kind of webinars far more accessible than some of the other institutes, but also they were, because my background is like pressure systems and like integrity, so things like failures, fractures, things like that. So the TWI webinars were kind of almost aligned to my career. So yeah, as time went on, that's just why I've been more involved. I wanted to get involved a bit more. I mean, throughout my career, I've been trying to do as much volunteering as I can. Some with like IMechE, some with just general STEM outreach. But then because I was a professional member of the Welding Institute, I wanted to just help out where I could. And I started getting involved a little bit with YMC, and then an opportunity came up for chair.
Yes, I think during my time in the Young Members Committee, I hadn't really found my place. I didn't really feel like I didn't know how I could really support it. So when the opportunity came up to apply for co-chair, I thought that would be a good opportunity to find how I could contribute and how I could help. And also it'd be a great challenge and sort of build skills and things that I don't necessarily get to deal with in my day-to-day job. So I thought it'd be quite an interesting task.
And I remember years ago, I was doing mock interviews at one of my old schools actually. And I was, did the general interview, and I just happened to ask him, what he does in his spare time. And he was part of a model train group, but it wasn't just like small model trains, it was the kind of big sit-on model trains. And as a 14 or 15-year-old, he was already into welding, into kind of fabrication, into repairing things, and I was absolutely blown away by how at such a young age he was already involved in things like that. So I think that's what I'm always trying to encourage is kind of people to get into things early, even just from a hobby point of view, because I think something like that gives you so much knowledge and applicability to the real world.
One of the things that sort of maybe changed my perspective of sort of young people and how we want to get them into engineering, I guess, was when one of my colleagues asked me to go to a school to speak to, I think it was like 6 or 7-year-olds about what an engineer is and what an engineer looks like. And we were putting together the slides of, what is an engineer? What do they need to be good at? And we had like a template there, and it was like, oh, good at maths, good at physics, good at all these things. And this guy just turned around and was like, well, no, we don't want to do that. You don't sell it like that. You want them to be creative. You want them to be good problem solvers. You want to be good communicators. And it made me sort of completely rethink of how we sell engineering to people, how we sell engineering to children, that it's not all maths, physics and sciences. It is, being practical, being a problem solver. Yeah, it sort of made me realize that we've probably been misselling it for a while. maybe that they're not interested in sort of the experiences of older engineers. I think maybe they just don't know how to build the connections, and maybe that's kind of that how we can play a part as the Young Members Committee is sort of bridging the gap of the people who want to be in the industry and then people who have so much experience in this industry and this wealth of knowledge, and sort of helping them come together and kind of share that.
I think also a misconception of younger engineers is that they might be inexperienced or lack the knowledge, but from what I found, sometimes it's the younger members or the kind of more junior people in meetings who will actually ask the questions that nobody else is asking. It might be that they don't know, or it might be that they're just asking just to kind of get a feel for things, but it's generally a better question than most of the others. So I think, yeah, I think having, even though they might be junior, it doesn't mean they lack the experience or lack the ability to see problems or solve problems.
Yeah, I guess they make less assumptions because they don't know, so they ask the good questions.
Yeah, yeah.
Barriers between the branches and the Young Members Committee and kind of how segregated everything is. You know, there are some branches who are doing like amazing work in supporting sort of schools and supporting young members, and then others that are maybe struggling for ideas. So it would be great to kind of maybe bring it all together and sort of share those ideas and maybe break down the barriers of communication between ourselves. And I think that would help.
Yeah, no, I agree, and definitely roping in the branches, and I mean we've already got a massive network and a massive amount of experience within the Welding Institute, so I think it's just leveraging that a bit more than we have been. I think probably the biggest thing is getting fresh ideas. There's a reason these roles are only kind of termed for 2 to 3 years. It's just I think as time goes on, you get a bit too comfortable with your own ideas or your own opinions. So I think getting fresh ideas and different direction is yeah, is the thing I'm looking forward to the most.
I think at the moment we're kind of looking at a sort of a bit of a rejuvenation of the Young Members Committee. So I'm sort of excited to see how that works. We want to get more involved with the branches, more involved with the young engineers out there. I want to try and, you know, make the Young Members Committee something that they feel represents them and provides value for their membership. It's going to support them in their career and support them as a young engineer. So I think working towards that is quite exciting.
I think over the years, especially with COVID and everything going a bit more digital, there's been a big change in how accessible and how almost how local things are. So I think, yeah, definitely in terms of rejuvenation, trying to get out there a bit more again. We've done a lot, tried to do a lot online, which has been great, but I think getting out there face to face and more local events and things would definitely is what we aspire to do.